You know, over to WA, it feels like a different country, and it's not surprising when you hear stories like this. On July 1, the Aboriginal Cultural Heritage Act is going to come into effect over in Western Australia, which will mean that if you own a piece of property that is 1,100 square metres or larger, and that's just over the size of the quarter-acre block that so many of you would be sitting on at home and owning tonight, you will have to go to the government for permission to do anything. If you want to dig a hole, if you want to build a fence, anything, you will have to go to the government for permission because you may potentially be disrupting something of Aboriginal heritage. It sounds extraordinary, but this is going to be the law as of July 1.
That is what it is, so yep.
He's dreaming.
As you might expect, farmers and property owners have been outraged by this. This is Tony Seabrook from the Pastoralist and Graziers Association.
It overreaches in every regard. There's no one in my industry that would willingly destroy a site of cultural significance. It's not what it's about. It's just the way it interferes with every single thing we do and will bring a huge time delay and a huge cost to what we'd normally call ordinary farming business.
The new Premier, Roger Cook, who of course replaces Mark McGowan.
An important message to keep Aboriginal people safe.
And the message, a proper important one, to keep everybody safe one.
The new Premier, Roger Cook, who of course replaces Mark McGowan, has said he will not budge on this. I mean, the quarter-acre block is not that big. It's what a lot of people in Australia own. And if you own just a little bit more than that, anything, you're going to have to go and get permission to dig a hole to put some concrete in the ground for a mailbox, for instance. I mean, talk about bureaucracy on steroids.
Everything is meaningless.
I don't know if you realise what you just said. You said, if you own this piece of land, and isn't that the question?
Well, sorry.
Do you really own it? Or does it actually belong to Indigenous people who now have the final say over, and this is the implication of the law, whether you could put a pool on your own property if it happens to be on a sacred site? And then my second question, Liz, is not only do you own your property, but who determines what's sacred and what's not, what's culturally significant and what's not?
Yeah, it's not. This is Pandora's box here, and we all know Craig Crawford, the relevant minister up in Queensland, they've inked their path to treaty legislation. There's over 150 different Aboriginal tribes in that one state alone. Each of them is entitled to a treaty. And our mate Craig has said nothing's off the table, including having the power on this same logical line of reasoning here, that they can even have the power to veto mining projects. All I can say is there's going to be a lot of people in WA just being like, yeah, I just want to buy the 100,000 square metres, thanks. And then you can just buy them next door to each other in different names. All I can say is there's going to be a lot of people in WA just being like, yeah, I just want to buy the 100,000 square metres, thanks. And then you can just buy them next door to each other in different names.
Different titles.
Very devious. Smart move.
Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E.